My name's Chris Heilman. I got my license in 2016 in the state of Ohio, and I was a solo agent utilizing other platforms and CRMs. I've been with two other brokerages. In 2021, I made the move over to eXp Realty, and at that point, I started my team. And in 2023, I got my broker associate license in Ohio, Iowa, and Nebraska. So I was a solo agent for several years, kind of learning the ways and developing my mindset of how I wanted my team to be. And my mother actually came on my team first, and that's how we built the team with eXp. And from there, I grew to 4 agents, and now I have 11 agents. And we have 2 branch offices, one in Carroll, Ohio, just outside Columbus, and we have a branch office in Sioux City, Iowa. So we cover a lot of ground. And with the CINC system, then I utilize 2 different platforms of that. This year, like most people, my sales volume, like I would say the sales number is down as far as like homes sold,
Sure.
but the sales price has increased so drastically with everything that it's actually the same, if not better than it was before. So
That's
it's kind of weird with the numbers when you're looking at that. But I would say I think in 2022, I know for sure we did, I think 62 homes sold. So a lot of my agents are newer agents, so we're getting them developed, getting them off the ground. So they didn't just come in with a whole bunch of huge numbers, but that allows them to learn on the CINC program and basically learn the correct way, utilizing it the best they can, and it's been working out so far. Yeah, I was a BoomTown
Okay, got it.
customer. Yeah. CINC actually reached out at the right time, and I understand that I never am the best at any given time. There's always improvement or always ways to evolve and change, roll with the way the economy isn't going.
Sure.
So at the time they had reached out, and I believe it was right when BoomTown had gotten purchased by Inside Real Estate. So it was like right at that right timing. And with eXp, we get KV Core for free, like an individual platform.
Right.
With the team, it's obviously going to cost a little bit more, but I'm not a fan of KV Core, so I'm not going to utilize it. So that's why I was using BoomTown. And then when the opportunity came, because honestly, I hadn't even heard of CINC before. I looked at what they had to offer, and it looked very appealing. So the quality has definitely increased on the pay per click, especially I'm looking at right now, like Google's my best option right now. A little bit more expensive, but it's yielding the best results with the Google. The Facebook is still good, the pay per click, but Google is definitely better. And I would say that it's definitely helped. I got a lot more meaningful leads, I would say. It has definitely helped make business easier with attaining and follow up. So with all the other systems, it's not just the pay per click and the Google ads, even though the Google Analytics that you guys are running are phenomenal, apparently, with the way things are working. I've even had people, comment like, "Hey, like your ad was great. Like it got me here. I'm not even interested in a house, but I clicked on it because it was good." So, getting that kind of feedback is definitely a good thing. And so coupling that with working the leads on the back end has definitely helped with the client follow-up, with the auto tracks and all the drips and all that kind of stuff. It's definitely made things a lot easier. So the AI is definitely a plus. It definitely helps pick up some of the loose slack. Actually, just this last week, I'm working on getting an inside sales agent. So with the ISA, the notify feature is phenomenal. I've used that a lot with my lenders. So I have 2 lenders in my system that I send leads to. And when I get a hold of a client, a prospect, and they're like, "Hey, I want to get financing," I can put the notes in there and I can notify that lender, and they can give them a call, before I could even call them and say, "Hey, call them." They get the notification and they do it.
Awesome. Cool.
So yeah, that's definitely a great feature. So coupling that with the AI, which also keeps track of, on top of people, and can say, hey, hey, Chris, this client is ready to schedule a showing, which is phenomenal. And I didn't have that with another system that I know of. I know that with the AI, so I didn't know that it could send out a monthly market report. So that's something that I just learned, I think, back in November. Because there's so much to learn with the sync. And Cheryl on my team, she is way better at sync than I am even. So like that's her baby. So with that monthly market tool, actually I put all my leads on that. So they're getting reached out to every single month saying, hey, in this zip code, this is average sales, this is the price, this is the volume, the numbers. And so once I put everybody on that, I believe it was about the 1st of December, I had a lead reach out that was like 12 months old or so and saying, hey, like, I just the rates were too high. We quit looking, but you're top of mind, so I'm going to call you when I am ready. So we're still working on them, but the fact that it kind of helped resurrect that lead, even from the BoomTown system beforehand, was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with the system following up with the F1, F2, P1, P2, the system uses analytics and data, which is what it's all about. And I can't even act like I am better at it than the system is. So following that, it's like dummy proof because it just tells you what to do. And the calls that are urgent that need reached out or got forgotten or don't have appointments, it will tell you. So as long as you follow down the button options, you know what to do. I mean, with the sync, once you log in, the back office part, all the tutorials and how-tos. I even have my ISA. She just said, "Hey, I've logged in. I was watching some of those videos. Did you see that?" And so we were talking about it. So she's actually working on the processes. It tells you when the best times to call, and I've explained that to them. And then with them watching it and having the data to basically reaffirm what I told them, based off of the data, it's not wrong. So if you call during this time and this time, of the days, your probability of reaching that client and getting somewhere is a lot higher. So it really solidifies that relationship and training practices with that, and having everything set up in place, and I can go in and see what they're doing and I can help them, or if they're on vacation, I can turn off their leads. I could reassign as needed. And even with Cheryl's even been calling some of their leads if they're like, hey, I don't have time this week. It's kid's birthday, it's Christmas, it's everything. So we can actually call their leads as they come in and just kind of help carry them. So it's still their lead, still their deal, but we're working as a team to help them get, to the finish line. I do, because it's something, I'm not just getting something for free and then turn around and making money off my team members based off of that. Is I found a system that I'm willing to invest my own money in, and I do that. It's extra, it's a value, it's special that not everybody has it. So why not come on board and try to use it? So my brokers have always been very proactive, not reactive. So being in multiple different states, each scenario is a little bit different, but we've always used them. So I was taught that way. So when you're taught, from the best, you just learn the best ways. And there's always a rhyme or reason behind what they do. And as long as you're covering your assets, like why, it's hard to go wrong when you're doing that, when you're being proactive. And then as you're explaining everything and everybody's on the same page, so there's no surprises, that's always a plus. But that's what we always work on, being proactive and making sure everybody's under the same understanding and agreement. And that way the problems later on don't arise, or if they do, they're taken care of easier. So, I mean, I had BoomTown at my first brokerage. When I had got on in 2016, they were just scouting it out and switched. So I was kind of on the forefront of that, learning that way. And then 2 years later, when I left and went to a different brokerage, they gave me KV Core, and I'm like, I don't like this, so I didn't use it. But I understood, like I said, I'm a very strategic thinker, and my best way I always say it is, other people are playing checkers and I'm playing chess because I'm futuristic. I have, good spatial awareness. So understanding that just because of what I'm doing now is not the way I need to be doing it in the future. And
Mhm.
so I look at the data and research, and if you look at what other successful people are doing, they're doing it. So I understood the need was there, even if KV Core that was offered for free was not the system. So when I came over to eXp in 2021, I automatically picked up BoomTown because that's what I knew. So you always
Mhm.
revert back to what you know if it was working before.
Sure.
So the price was okay, so I went with them, but I understood that I needed more market share. And that's what it
Mhm.
comes down to is if you're not doing online marketing and getting leads, that's a good way is just finding a CRM that's going to offer that and do both things for you. So that's when it worked out really well. Then when CINC came along and showed me the data on what they could do with the analytics and the websites and all that, the SEO stuff. So they really helped me get everything together, and the marketing has just been great, getting that more market share.